Welcome to It's All Relative. I'm Josh.
And I'm Timothy.
And we back at it with a special episode 7.
Okay. Special episode 7?
Special episode 7, bro. First, I want to wish you and our listeners a happy new year.
Thank you, brother. Happy New Year's to you, too.
Yes, thank you. And to our listeners.
Yeah, Happy New Year's to all you guys.
We made it.
We did.
Blessed to get through another year.
Blessed. Just blessed to get out of 2020.
Yeah. This episode, it's special because we're going to take a little dive into how 2020 treated both you and I.
Okay.
Both
Yeah.
individually.
Let's do that.
So, how was your New Year's, bro?
My New Year's was great. We just didn't do much of anything. We hanged out at home.
Right.
We watched the Ozark, which I recommend to everybody.
Shout out Ozark.
Shout outs to Ozark.
Great show.
Yeah, amazing show. And I'm only like 4 episodes in. We have to finish that up then.
It gets so much better.
Oh, man.
It gets
Season
so much
2?
better. Season 2. Season 3 is wild.
Oh, my God.
Like I said, it gets, as the seasons progress, it gets better and better because more people get involved. It gets a lot deeper.
Right.
But it's great. I'm actually waiting for them to come out with their 4th season. I've been waiting.
Is that going to be the last one, or is this just a continuation of a larger story?
I don't know.
Huh.
Actually, I'm hoping that. I mean, of course, we got to see how well season 4 is.
Right.
But I'm hoping that they can keep going.
Well, they got to keep going because Netflix be acting funny sometimes. They just like cutting stuff off.
Right.
The great stuff.
Yeah. New Year's this year, getting back to that, was definitely, I feel like was quiet for most people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Us, people not really being able to go out and party like they usually do. I don't know if you were able to see. Did you happen to see
the ball?
What Times Square looked like?
Nope, I didn't see a damn thing.
It was empty, bro.
It was empty?
Yeah, man.
Bless.
It was weird to see, but after such a crazy weird year,
right.
It's expected.
It's very expected, and I guess it's kind of funny because you also you basically pointed out that people expect something, like they expect to feel a certain way about New Year's every single New Year's, but this one's just like extra special.
Right. I'm sure people are happy to start a new year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To start the next chapter.
Also, I'm gonna just slip this in. Shout outs to everybody that actually stayed home instead of going down there and actually following, the rules that are set by the times right now.
Yeah, absolutely. COVID is still out there.
Still a thing.
It's absolutely still a thing. But my New Year's was quiet too. We kept it low key. Really.
Oh, really?
We just
Did you see the ball drop?
We did not actually. This is I believe the 2nd year in a row.
The 2nd year in a row?
My wife and I have missed the ball. It's so late now that
Missing
we're
them.
older. Yeah, and we usually have to get up so early. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
So
That's
we're
true.
so used to not staying up till midnight.
Right. Would you say that how would you feel about that? Like being that type of person that always made sure to stay up for every single New Year's, or just to make sure to make them, or to like party and whatever, to just get into the point of where you're just okay with not seeing it anymore?
Shit, man. I think I'm an age thing. I think I'm there. I've reached that spot,
Wow,
because
the
I
age
did. Yeah, I mean, there were plenty of. I can remember countless New Year's. Always being out, having fun, staying up,
Right.
Partying and whatnot. But now, I mean, a few years prior, it was even tough because we'd have the kids.
Okay.
And they would want to, obviously, they'd want to stay up, and watch the ball drop. But that sucked because it usually meant that me or, Jody would have to stay up.
Yeah, you would have to stay up until midnight, right?
And it
So
was
it's a pain
tough.
in the ass.
It was tough sometimes to try to fight like that. And so, like, they've gotten older now where I don't remember why, like last year, I mean, we just... it was cool that we missed it. We didn't really care. And like this year, it was the same thing. Not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal anymore, man. It's however big you want to make it. Like if you want to be the type of person that wants to party every New Year's,
right?
And that's just who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
do what you do.
Yeah, for real.
You know
Have
what
your
I'm
fun,
saying?
right?
Exactly, have
Right.
fun. But I do remember actually I don't remember how long ago, but it was definitely within the last uh I would say 5 years maybe. I'm trying to recall, but I'm having trouble. But my wife and I and a bunch of all our friends and whatnot, there was a New Year's Eve party, and I think that was um one of the last times. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I think we actually had, I think, a New Year's Eve party here a few years ago.
Like 2-3
at our
years
house.
ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was one that was before that I remember. It was just did not end well. Like, it was one of those horrible. And then that night I knew, like, because even the party that we threw here,
Right.
I remember it didn't go late.
It didn't go late into it. Right.
Once the ball dropped, everybody was everybody's old, man.
Like 2 minutes after, all right, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah, everybody be wanting to go to bed. So, and that was cool. So, but I mean, the one before this, it wasn't at our house. So
Okay.
we had, obviously.
So that means you have to drive home too after.
Well, we couldn't even drive because we had been partying and whatnot.
Oh,
so
okay, partying like that.
we
go
had
to sleep.
to stay and whatnot, and it just didn't end. It was such a uncomfortable night.
So
not a fun morning.
Not a fun morning. So you basically scared yourself away from doing New Year's with other people.
Yeah, I was just like, we've done it. We've done it enough. It's cool. We're just keeping it low key.
Yeah, low key is better, man. At least that's how I feel about it. Yeah, let's just be chill, watch a movie maybe, and that's it.
Right.
Happy New Year's.
Right. Yes. Well, like, being that it's 2021 now, I wanted this episode to be a little different. And like I had said, I wanted to do a little recap of 2020, but
yeah, let's do that.
I also wanted to let our listeners know how 2020 impacted both you and I, like, on a personal level.
Okay, we can talk about that.
But before we jump into that, I want to touch on a few headlines. First, being that the 2020-2021 NBA season has started.
Whew.
Yeah.
What a season.
It's an exciting time. My squad is doing the same thing they always do.
Being the Knicks.
Yes. Shout out to the Knicks.
Shout out to the Knicks.
Real Knicks fans, it's so painful, bro.
Right.
It's such
yeah, it's been like that for a while.
Forever, bro. And it's so tough to watch because every year you get your hopes up.
Right, you build yourself up.
Like, yeah, you think that maybe, maybe this year we're going to do all right.
Yeah.
And then, right now.
You're just waiting for the one day that everything that you've been waiting for to just come up in a victory. Or at least, beating their league. You know what I mean?
I wish, man.
Yeah, they can.
I would love to see them win a championship.
Why not? They're the Knicks, man. They've been around. They've been hustling forever.
Yeah, they've been horrible forever.
Or hustling.
They're just so bad. I don't know. But I'm hoping. I mean, like I said, right now they started out this year doing the same thing they usually do. They are losing games that they should win.
That they should win, right.
And
beating better players.
They're winning games that they should lose to.
Well, there's statistics and then there's actual playing, though.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. They beat Milwaukee, which is typical Knicks.
Typical Knicks, yeah.
Right now, I think we're sitting at 2-3, but as we are talking, actually, right now, they have a game. They're going through a game that has started.
Who are they playing?
Indiana.
Oh, Indiana. Oh, the Pacers. Oh, no.
The Pacers. Yeah, that's
no.
Bad history. Too, there with Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Man.
But you still can't hate on Reggie, though.
Oh, man, I do. I do.
Story for another time.
It was so, yeah. I mean, there are certain people that, they were amazing players, but they just destroyed the Knicks at, like, the worst times. Jordan being one.
Can we really hate on Jordan, though?
Reggie Miller. I mean,
you could have took Reggie apart, though.
Me being a Knicks fan, I can hate on Jordan.
Yeah. Okay. I guess.
But, What about you, my man? How's your team looking?
Completely destroyed. It's the Clippers. Come on.
The Clippers.
The Clippers.
They actually right now though, I believe they're sitting pretty nice.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
4-1 or 4-2. I can't remember. They're doing all right, and just gave Paul George big money.
Big money. Yep.
Big money contract.
Shout outs to Paul George.
Yeah, man.
And of which I'll at least just sneak this in since nobody really knows. But yeah, I'm friends with one of Paul George's cousins. One of his first cousins.
That's wild. That's awesome.
I got pictures to show you later then.
That's what's
good. Yeah, he's always been a cool dude. Always been a cool dude. Always he loves going to LA. So that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, he finally made it over there.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Have you seen Kawhi's rocking like a face mask? Like
a face mask.
You remember like back in the day when Rip Hamilton wore the Kawhi got hit.
Oh, really?
A few nights ago.
Holy crap.
And I think it was by his own player, I believe. I want to say it was Ibaka. Maybe.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But he
sideswiped him.
He had gotten hit and he was bleeding
Jesus.
and whatnot. And now he's rocking a face mask and whatnot.
Is it like a Jason type mask or something?
No, it actually looks weird, bro. Like when you look at it, it's like where your eyes and nose are, it's like completely cut out.
Okay, yeah.
But then everything else is all plastic.
Right, it's supposed to shield around
your mouth. So,
is it black at least or like colored
white?
Oh
it's
no,
clear.
Even worse,
It's
clear. So you can actually see the face behind it.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, it's Kawhi. He's still gonna hoop.
He's still gonna hoop. Yeah,
no matter what.
Doesn't matter. Maybe the mask is like a demon mask now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, your team also got rid of You guys had Doc Rivers for a while.
Doc Rivers.
I know you're not a fan of him.
I'm not a fan. I used to be a fan.
Yeah.
He was pretty good, but it seems he liked to follow me as I changed teams because I was a very, very, very big Clippers fan, but also before that, I was a Celtics fan. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he basically followed me to the Clippers and then proceeded to just fuck up the Clippers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he had he was in control for a while of one of the best Clipper teams that I remember.
The most stacked ever.
Lob City.
Lob City.
Yeah. That was an awesome squad.
Everybody. CP3, everybody.
Yeah.
Like the whole family was there.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I don't know who's to blame there.
Doc Rivers is definitely to blame, bro.
Well, see, he's holding it down now for Philly.
Well,
he's the head coach for the Sixers now.
Sixers got a good team now? I don't think they even have a team anymore.
I don't know, actually. I don't know.
I'm trying to
I mean, they got Joel Embiid. He's an all-star.
Okay.
They're gonna be all right as long as Joel Embiid stays. You know what I'm saying? They made him a few years ago, like when they let Jimmy Butler go, because they wanted to keep. I think.
You think they should have kept Butler at the time?
If they would have kept Butler, Philly would have won a championship.
They had the resources to back up Butler on everything?
Oh, yeah. With the team, when Butler was there, that squad that Philly had was nice. It was such a sick squad. And Jimmy Butler, man, he went on to go and show that he's a
all-star.
He's a beast, man. Yeah, he's a killer.
Damn.
But yeah, like I said, it's exciting time. The season's back. I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah. Where do you think it's gonna land up then?
Man, I don't know. Lakers look good.
It's kind of. I mean, you don't even sound too confident about that.
I mean,
which is that is actually interesting. You would think Lakers would just quickly demolish.
Right. You would think. I have my own thoughts about LeBron.
Should we have a LeBron episode?
Maybe we should.
Maybe. He's an interesting topic, brother.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hell of a player. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, of course.
I have nothing but respect for him. He's in his own league,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I'm just, I don't know.
He's
Maybe we'll move on.
Yeah. Maybe we will. Let's just move on.
All right. Oh, we should mention, our last episode that we did, it was a wrestling episode.
Yeah, it was.
So we have to mention, the world, but more so the wrestling world, is still in shock from the passing of John Huber or Brody Lee to AEW fans.
That's right.
And Luke Harper to WWE fans.
Jesus.
Yeah, he passed on December 26th, 2020.
That's right.
Of a non-COVID lung issue.
Oh, Jesus.
And he was 41.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, it's super sad too because I followed him a lot when he was in WWE. He was part of a group called the Wyatt family.
Okay. Wyatt family.
But he was when he was with the WWE, he was very he was underused.
Okay.
They didn't use him right because he was a special type of talent, and he just never got his right.
Was he like an Eddie Guerrero type of person?
No, because
as far as play.
No, because he was a lot bigger.
Okay, a lot bigger. Okay.
A lot bigger in stature. Mm-hmm. He could move like a smaller guy.
Okay.
I had heard in an interview a while ago that Edge a few years ago, he had said that Luke Harper, back when he was with WWE, right. Luke Harper was probably one of the top wasted talents that WWE
Are you
had.
For real?
Yeah, they just didn't know how to
utilize him at all.
Yeah, and he wasn't a very flamboyant person, and
that may add to it though.
Right, his character too wasn't. So like when he was on the mic, he didn't have that.
He didn't have the presence,
that shine, and
the flash.
But he was a hell of a wrestler, and people liked him, right? So he never really got his shine in WWE, and all of a sudden, this past year, COVID had hit. So, live sporting events, they didn't have a crowd anymore.
No, they had like all the screens and stuff.
Right. And AEW had set something up like in a storyline where there was some special leader of this group, and everyone had thought it was going to be Matt Hardy, or Broken Matt Hardy, because he was coming to AEW as well.
Right.
And it ended up being that it was not Matt Hardy, and I believe it was the show that was in Buffalo, New York, or somewhere up very close to Buffalo, because that's where John Huber or Brody Lee is originally from.
Okay.
He got to debut in the AEW in his home.
That's pretty tight in the hometown,
which is awesome. Yes, but I remember hearing him on a wrestling podcast, and he was saying it was awesome, exciting,
right?
But it was a little downer because there were no live fans there, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, the COVID,
yeah, but was awesome because I felt so happy for him because
it's still every bit legit, that you got to do something like that, even if there's no crowd.
Right, absolutely. Right. And when he came to AEW, he immediately fit right in.
Right in.
They used him perfectly. He was like, he belonged in AEW. And I remember hearing.
Do you have an analog of a person? My bad. An analog of a person that he would most closely resemble from like older wrestling, so I can have an idea.
Let me think.
Because I'm so interested in how Edge of all people could say he was underutilized.
Maybe you could even compare him with very similar qualities to Edge.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
He's just not like a high flyer.
That's why I was saying I didn't want to say anything like Matt or Jeff Hardy or somebody like that.
Right, no. Yeah. Because he's a bigger dude, kind of like
even bigger.
Stature-wise and stuff, he kind of reminded me of, you remember Scott Hall?
Yeah. Wow, Scott Hall. Okay.
Like he's big.
That's
like
a big guy.
Yeah. But he can move, and he had skill, man. And like I said, when I heard him on some interviews about him coming to AEW, he was so hyped because he was going to be used. And like we had said, you know, when we were talking about the whole wrestling thing in the previous episode,
Right.
is that AEW, they have their own freedom, their creative freedom.
Yeah. They have their own, they don't have to write their, or have somebody have a writer.
Right. He went off creating his own because he was the leader of a group on AEW called the Dark Order.
Okay, so he had a stable of his own too.
Right.
Wow.
And he was able to write a bunch of stuff like that he writ himself, you know, and the way that he talked and the way that he explained it, it sounded like he was super excited and super happy.
For them to
totally
use it.
content like where he was. It sounded like it was like night and day from being in WWE to AEW. And,
That's pretty awesome.
And he was extremely happy.
Says a lot about WWE.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not such good things.
Right, exactly. All bad.
Right.
All terrible.
But even in his short time too in AEW, he became a champion. He was the TNT champion.
The TNT?
He had beaten Cody Rhodes because they had a little feud back and forth.
Okay.
Which,
how was that feud?
Pretty cool. Not bad. Like their matches were cool. They had one match that was a little different. It was called a dog collar match.
Okay.
Where like they both
dog collar.
They both were wearing like a dog collar like around their neck, and it was connected by like a long chain. So like
they were connected to each other,
and they had to fight.
And was it like a strong metal chain?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And there was blood.
Wow. ECW level.
It was a cool match, man. Like, but like it was weird too because they weren't able to maneuver and run around, you know, because they were connected.
Because they connected. I think that adds to the interesting thing.
Right. It was definitely different.
Right. Very interesting aspect of it.
I believe it was probably the first dog collar match I've ever seen.
Probably the very first one, right?
So, but yeah, it's real sad that because he was about to flourish and blow up there in AEW, and he was in such a good spot, and I had wondered too because he was real hot, you know, like he was on like every Wednesday evening for every show.
Was he like hitting prime time?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, you didn't see him anymore, and like you saw other members of his crew and whatnot, and you didn't see him at all. And
did they even play him up like to be like the behind the scenes? Did they like have pictures of him or on the phone or something?
No,
so they didn't use him at all.
No, because he was suffering from this lung issue.
Jesus,
yeah, super sad, man. And I know this past Wednesday night, AEW, their whole show was dedicated to him. It was like a celebration of life or dedication and whatnot. It was pretty cool. His wife and kid was there.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
And they definitely had a big part of the show.
That's a shame.
And everything. But yeah, and he was young, 41.
He was 41.
41, which is crazy. And like I said, he was...
I'm about to be 35.
Yeah.
Or 36 rather. Yeah.
Really? When's your birthday, bro?
April 9th.
April 9th.
Yeah, man.
So you turned 36 this year?
Yeah.
I turned 36 this year as well.
Yeah.
Not until September.
Yeah. Okay. We getting that.
Yeah. It's scary.
It's scary. I know, right? We're gonna close our eyes and wake up and it's September already.
I remember even how I felt when I was about to turn 30. That shit was crazy. And
did you feel like you would age into 30 gracefully?
I don't know, man. I don't know what to think. I was just thinking like fear, just to be thinking and just to say like, yo, damn, you 30, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like, and now like you're gonna be 36 and shit. Like that's wild.
That's wild. It's actually kind of interesting you say that. At least a lot of people that have told me about just aging in general, they say almost everybody freaks out at 30. But by the time you hit 40, it's like, all right, I'm 40.
Yeah.
All right, I'm 50.
The acceptance.
You accept it.
Finally,
right?
like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, 30, not to get too wild deep into it, but 30 was definitely a year that I'd always remember because when I turned 30, you know, it was the year that you turned 30. So that in itself is crazy.
That itself is crazy, yes.
I was 30, and that was the year I lost my father.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dial it back.
And
sorry, bro.
Nah, you good. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
And that was also the year, though, that I also got married.
Okay, yeah.
So
beautiful
it was a little
thing
wild,
after. Yeah.
a little crazy.
Well, you'll never forget it because there was like a lot of highs and lows.
Absolutely, like
Yeah.
to the extreme.
Wow.
The highest of high probably,
Mhm.
and pretty much one of the closest to lows.
Wow.
You know, closest to being low or whatnot.
Right,
But
right.
either way, yeah.
It's all good.
So yeah, 36 though this year. That's pretty scary.
We're getting there. It's all right, bro. We're gonna age into it gracefully this time.
Yeah.
All right, we're 40.
But right, but no, but we want to say a special shout out to Brody Lee. You know,
Yeah, shout outs to Brody Lee. Rest in peace, brother.
Rest in peace. 2020 was crazy, and him this incident definitely to the wrestling world and the wrestling fans, it definitely impacted them. I had some people who would talk to me about it, and like
they were hit especially hard on it.
Yeah, they kept just saying like, you know, days after, like, damn, I can't believe
that yeah, that's been Cody in some cases.
Kind of how exactly, because for wrestling fans, I feel like this loss was maybe like the way that they felt was how a lot of us sports fans felt when Kobe had passed.
Right. Exactly the same.
Yeah. So, but with that,
yeah,
it was a
horrible loss.
A horrible loss.
Yeah.
Let's jump into our last headline.
Sure.
This one's a little different though, bro. Because all right, I gotta ask you.
What's good?
Have you seen or are you familiar with the Twisted Tea video that has gone viral?
Let me tell you right now, I was one of the first people to watch the Twisted Tea video.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw it too, like right in the beginning.
Right in the beginning. Okay, where'd you see it from?
Oh, I saw it on Facebook, but it was before.
Oh, it was some people that saw it faster than Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, we talking like on Reddit.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that you saw it because yeah, it's everywhere. It's gone viral.
It's gone super viral.
It's everywhere on social media.
Right.
There are new memes coming out every day about it. But I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the whole.
Sure, let's go.
The whole incident. What did you think?
I thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. Are you kidding me? This is the most funny thing I've ever seen. And also behind that, at least for me, the meaning that people think that it's attached to it, I don't agree.
Okay.
I don't agree.
Okay.
I mean, if you want me to go through the whole story, I can just tell you from the beginning of the Twisted Tea to the end, and then why people, because I think we really listen to race, aren't we?
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, this was definitely, definitely an incident of someone who was definitely a racist. You know,
that I don't agree with.
No. Okay.
And that's funny that I don't agree with it. Right.
Okay. Maybe not. Yes, maybe not particularly a racist, but someone who just over the top and misusing and out of place, like just.
It was definitely out of place,
but
that actually happens more often than you think.
Oh no, bro! I definitely, I see it. I agree with it. I mean, I would. So for me, okay, yeah. Let's go back. So,
sure.
Because when I viewed it, I felt certain things.
Okay.
You know, after I had seen it. So, but I want to know. How did you feel like when you had watched it?
Like I said, immensely funny because in any context, that was the most hilarious thing ever. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're messing with somebody behind you and you just get pimp slapped with an entire can of Twisted Tea.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I mean that
when he pops up, you can just see the exact moment where his soul just leaves his body and just floats away.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's wild.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, so for me though, when I had saw that video, I just thought that maybe, I mean, obviously the white dude, he definitely acted like a fool.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Looked a little intoxicated.
Oh, of course, definitely so.
I mean, I think he was buying more beer.
Buying more beer.
So, and I mean, he obviously looked like, I don't know, the vibe that he carried he reminded me of like, one of those redneck dudes.
Of course, of course.
And, obviously when you are going to call somebody the word that he used.
Yeah, that magic word.
Especially being that, bro, you're white. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the reason why I don't agree.
Okay, why?
As a black person, anyways.
Okay, yeah.
So the reason why I don't agree is because, one, I've actually lived in communities where, it's not a big deal to say the N-word.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if everyone is very chill, everyone's very cool, it almost is. I mean, it's still not a right word to say,
right.
But people are very accepting of it. And he did carry a little bit of that vibe when he was talking.
Mm-hmm.
But his problem was that he was just obnoxious as hell. Like, he shouldn't have, like, in my opinion, I thought he shouldn't have been so obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he didn't, like, go all the way over the top to, like, try and impress everybody that was there, he wouldn't have got, like, pimp-handed.
Right. I mean, well, he was he was going off. He was going off. And telling the dude to smack him.
Yeah, right. And then kicked him.
And he tried to, when the dude dropped the Twisted Tea on the ground, tried to kick it out of his hand.
That's the reason why he got slapped.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that dude had that thing coming.
Oh, he definitely had it coming. Either way.
And that's just another thing that we had talked about. We always talk about, like, racism is just such a horrible thing. I know you said that.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think it's not?
Because if you think like he's carrying that vibe of being racist, like, the dude would have handled him at the first moment he said the N-word. At the very first moment, he would have, like, beat the hell out of him. Even some people, like, because he said it multiple times.
Right.
But yeah, some people are okay with the first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Second, third, that comes out. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Usually because it happens. Unfortunately, it happens so often that where you will hear, somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and the first time, most of the time, that person's not gonna just go crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the persistence of it,
so
2, 3, 4 times, you just like, all right, go ahead, bro.
See, but that's the reason why it's so different in this. I would tell you right now, I would be surprised if a lot of people either agree with me or they're, like, in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was gonna say is that it was more so his obnoxiousness that got him the shit knocked out of him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like, he was being obnoxious, he was talking to the dude. The dude is obviously holding back. Mm-hmm. And in some cases, like, all right, he's drunk. He realizes that he's drunk and he's like, all right, I'm going to let him go, have his fun elsewhere. But it was the point of him when he dropped it. He was flipping it in his hand.
Right.
But that was the way of him trying to de-stress.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have any intention of fighting him or anything.
No, not at all. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's when he got kicked, when he kicked next to him, he was like, all right, it's time to, sober this man up one time.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, man. That dude, you became famous. Smacked in the face by a Twisted Tea can.
Yeah, what if they pull him off the street and they just give him like a Twisted Tea commercial or something to do? Like, yeah, I'm the guy that did that.
I don't know, bro. That's crazy though. But before this whole incident, did you ever drink Twisted Tea? Or?
Yeah, and that shit is nasty.
Yeah, it's got so nasty. Much. It's blown up right now. Yeah. But I will say, and I have to, because before this whole incident happened, and before the whole Twisted Tea thing blew up, I know that there was. I want to give a special shout out to my boy.
Okay, shout outs to who?
His name's Steve.
Shout outs to Steve.
Yo, this man. Been staying drinking Twisted Tea way before, like, years. Like, I've known this.
He was the old tea partier,
bro. Like, I mean,
shout outs to Steve for real.
Yeah, shout out to my man Steve. He used to, like, on parties and whatnot. That was like, maybe bring 1 or 2 of them before you start getting to the beers and whatnot.
Right.
But, like, always you always knew my man was showing up with them.
Damn, he was coming through with it.
Yeah,
oh no,
he was the only person that I knew that ever used them. Because I mean, I don't drink them. Most people I know don't really.
But he was on it though.
Yeah, So that's what I'm saying.
Now it's famous because it's been used as a weapon.
My man Steve been on that Twisted Tea, but now Twisted Tea is everywhere.
Yeah, it's like the tea just came out of nowhere. The best weapon.
The best weapon.
Watch how these dudes, these marketing dudes, they about to put that into their marketing ASAP.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's wild.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, man. We're gonna take a quick break.
All right.
Real quick. But we want to remind our listeners that they can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Anchor.
Yes, sir.
Please continue to subscribe, follow, share, listen, hit that 5-star rating.
Please, if you can shimmy one up.
Please, yes, that really helps us, and it really does help support the podcast. So we really appreciate the more subscribers, the more rates, the better.
Yes.
All right, and we'll be right back.
All right.
So I have a question for our listeners out there. Do you own a computer? Are you having trouble with broken screens, data backup issues, password reset problems, virus spyware removal, software installation issues? If so, Slipstream Repair Computer Electronic Solutions has you covered. Contact Timothy Latunde at 845-204-1712. The email is ss.sho16@gmail.com. Once again, that is 845-204-1712. And the email is ss.sho16@gmail.com. Call or email to schedule a free consultation. Welcome back to It's All Relative. So, we're breaking down 2020.
Breaking it down.
Wild year. Crazy year.
It's pretty wild.
People tend to have a lot of negative because 2020 was a very difficult year for everybody.
Oh yeah.
I do want to state and say that 2020 was a big year for us, and it's all relative.
That it was. It was.
It was the year that we were able to get started.
Yeah.
And we've had some good success. It's been fun.
It has been fun. It's been quite the journey too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not over yet.
No, it's not.
Not by any means.
Yeah, man.
We've had some great guests, that have helped make each of our episodes excellent.
Yes, we have. We have beautiful guests.
Yeah, we should actually, shout some of them people out.
Okay.
Back when we first started our first episode, we had Nate Brown.
Yeah, shout outs to Nate.
Yeah.
The very first one.
Him in the Vicious One program.
Oh, yeah.
Which is doing very well.
Shout outs to the Vicious One program.
Shout outs Vicious One. Let's see, we also had Jonna Hollister.
Oh, yeah. Shout outs to Jonna.
Shout out to her.
That paranormal.
Share some experiences that she had. Let's see, my boy, YO, a.k.a. Jackson Wallace.
Shout outs to Jackson.
Yeah, shout out to him and all his music. And we actually rocking his t-shirts right now. Stellar Sound and Media.
That's stellar. Shout
out. Shout out to Kyle Malloy.
Yeah.
Gave us some good info on disc golf and skydiving.
Yeah.
And special shout out to Cody Wood, man,
shout outs to Cody
for coming on and chopping it up about wrestling.
So literally everybody wants another wrestling episode. That's all I ever hear.
Yeah, that's what we've been told, that the wrestling episode was actually pretty good. So it's something to think about for sure. And we want to definitely thank Cody for
shout outs to Cody.
Yeah, coming on and being a part of that. One thing that that I am. I'm sure you are too, but
Okay.
I think it's free to speak for both of us to say. But definitely grateful.
Oh, very grateful.
For the one grateful thing that happened in 2020 was us being able to start this
Right.
and
Yeah.
have this podcast. So we definitely wanted to thank all those guests who we've had this past year.
Yes. Thank you for taking out the time.
Yeah, so thank you. But yeah, my man, let's break down how 2020 has affected both of us.
Okay.
On personal levels,
Sure.
professional levels, family level. I don't think that there was anybody, right, that made it through this past year that can say they weren't unaffected or that
Oh,
they
yeah.
were,
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying, by anything that took place during 2020. There was, everybody has stories, experiences.
Right.
Everybody
Or they
was
lost something.
right. Everybody was affected some way, somehow.
Right.
Nobody made it through unscathed.
Right. Right.
I wanna.
You want to touch on those?
Yeah,
On a couple of them, I'd say.
I want to fill in the listeners,
Okay.
on a little on how 2020 hit us. So
Sure. Do you want to go first?
Sure. So yeah, 2020. I can say for me was a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I have 3 events that stood out, or affected me and my family.
Okay.
And at first, I wasn't sure if I wanted to share some of these events.
Damn, it must have hit deep if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, you can say some of these events, were life changing.
Oh, Jesus.
But I talked with my wife because these involve her.
Okay.
And she was cool with it. And even though some of the events seem like a negative thing, ironically, it turned out to be more of a blessing.
Okay.
You know.
So it's a thing that had to happen to get you to a higher point, or do you think
Right.
that it would have happened eventually if not for COVID or something like that, or just by way of it being 2020?
I think it's quite possible these events could have happened if it wasn't for COVID, but
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know if it would have happened if it wasn't for COVID. COVID definitely played its part and affected some of these things. So, the year started. I don't know, I can't remember exactly the month, the date, and whatnot. I want to say maybe around March, April.
Okay,
maybe.
March, April.
So I guess it was somewhat in the beginning of last year. So I guess basically the year started off where I was with my wife and she ended up getting attacked or bit by a dog.
Okay.
And it wasn't like a little bite. It was
like a big vicious bite.
Yeah, it was a chomp.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
If you saw the picture of what her arm looked like, she had like a hole in like part of her arm, and like another part there was it was just ripped open. Like there was meat
and everything. Are you
out.
kidding me?
Bro, it was gross. I've never seen like,
and it healed back okay, right?
I mean, she's got a nice scar. She'll show you. It's definitely scarred. It's you'll definitely, because they basically
like a skin graft or whatever.
So her skin, it was missing like a big chunk in her arm, and like there were parts that were hanging.
My God.
So like when it healed, they just tried to like use these like I don't know, these like butterfly strips or whatnot to hold it together.
Jesus.
And to try to maybe make the skin, I guess, fuse.
Yeah. They're setting it in place so that the cells can like rejoin and everything.
But the way that the way they had it is, it's like it almost like overlapped a little bit. So she's scarred. She's got a nice scar that she'll always remember.
Right.
But I mean,
but everything is functioning, like the arms and elbows. It didn't get to like any other vital parts, did it?
no, thank God.
Hmm.
Luckily, like I said, it did. It messed her arm up. Definitely, we were in shock a little bit. It was the good thing about it, I guess, is when the dog came up. So like the dog was playing or chewing on like a toy or a ball, right? And then once it saw my wife, it ran up, and I guess it dropped the ball and it clamped down on her arm. But luckily, it didn't clamp and pull and tear. It clamped and then let go.
Right.
So once it happened, because I was in the car, she had gotten out of the car. Once it had happened, she jumped right back in the car, and I had asked her because I didn't see it because it happened so quick. I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I just got bit. Wow. And we were like, what the hell? Rolling up her sleeve to look, right? And at first, like I said, all you saw was like a hole from like a tooth.
Right.
So it didn't look too bad. It looked painful.
It looked painful.
But like Jesus. It didn't. But then all of a sudden, when she rolled her shit up,
it showed the rest.
That meat was everywhere coming out, bro. It was so nasty. And then of course, like I started to like panic a little.
Right.
All right. So we ended up having to rush her to a a doctor spot, and we ended up getting it taken care of and cleaned and whatnot. But like it was horrible because that's a wound that and especially being in the spot that it was at, it takes time to heal.
Right.
Plus it's right where you bend your elbow.
Right. So that's the motor functionality right there.
Right. Yeah. And to have something to heal, like your skin's all open there. You shouldn't be bending your arm.
Right.
So definitely something that would take a while to heal.
Right.
It was
it was
a stressful experience. I will just say like how everything was handled and the outcome and everything of the whole situation, that it was handled correctly.
Yeah, there was no foul play or anything.
No, okay. Everything was handled.
That's good then.
It was very well. We're
Would you say that it was even a little bit better that it happened just before COVID really got gigantic?
Yes, because of course, having to go to a doctor or a walk-in clinic, yes, you wanted to be concerned about that. But at the time, probably too, this may have been right around the time when maybe people were starting to get word, but it wasn't anything to worry about.
Okay. Yeah.
And at that time when this happened, none of that probably was going through my mind. My mind was racing. My mind was literally. I remember, like, we got in the car and I took off, bro. And we trying to get to the clinic real quick, and I'm flying through these roads and stuff, and like, she's the one that's got all her meat and whatnot hanging out, and she's trying to calm me down. You know what I'm saying?
Makes you a good husband, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a wild event. One of the wild events. That's how the year pretty much kind of started.
Okay.
Damn. So when this happened, she's going through the healing process and whatnot, and then COVID starts for real. Right. For real. So things are going crazy, it was in the beginning stages.
Yeah. So, and then but amongst that, even the social type of stuff of it breaking down a little bit and people having to live with this new norm, rushing to buy toilet paper, rushing to buy water and all this other stuff.
Right. Everything was crazy. Our worlds were turned upside down.
Right.
With the limitations and restrictions then, right, of what you quote unquote or can and cannot do.
Right.
So that was, to have that event happen, right after is crazy. Everything's happening, and we're all trying to figure it out, one step at a time.
Right.
Definitely a wild situation. But my wife was on medication also for her for the dog bite. You know,
Okay.
there was a bunch of stuff that she
Like
had
antibiotics, or is it
Right.
just to help heal? Okay.
that stuff, and I don't know. There were some other things, but I can't remember exactly. But she was on medicine that
Mhm.
was prescribed to her,
Mhm.
and during the whole COVID thing and whatnot, I guess some of the medications had mentioned or said, you know, that you to avoid alcohol. All
Oh,
right,
okay.
and my wife has always been one that you know that she enjoyed to have her drink.
Okay.
You know, she was like that for many years.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
but this is all going on. You know, healing from this dog bite,
And then taking the
COVID.
medicine, COVID.
She ended up stopping drinking for
Okay.
a little, right?
All right.
You know, because of the medicine, maybe just the way that she felt too. You know, just in general, you know, just from the dog bite, the COVID, the like everything.
Right. Everything
So,
was just piling on.
so she ended up stopping drinking. But what had happened was she started to get real sick because she started to go through alcohol withdrawals.
Wow.
Which
You didn't even have the time to even think of that with everything going on.
Right, which is crazy though too, because like when you withdraw from certain substances, like most drugs and whatnot, you're gonna feel like you want to die, and like you feel like you're going to die
Right.
when you're withdrawing, but usually you won't. But with alcohol, when you withdraw from alcohol,
Right.
you can die.
You can
because
die.
you have people go through seizures. You get
Wow, really? Because of
it's
that feeling? This is about. I guess I understand it though.
yeah, no, like I mean, it's a
interesting.
crazy topic, but alcohol really
Hmm.
really can cause a lot of damage. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the worst things, to have to stop. Like you can't.
Wow.
You're not supposed to like cold turkey that, because that's what can cause like seizures.
So
You
how
don't.
do you go down from it?
You they usually give you certain medications and whatnot
Okay.
to help ease it and slow. I mean, just as anything else, like when you're withdrawing from a certain substance, you're gonna feel like shit.
Right.
You know.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I myself, I've been through battles with addiction. You know, I've lived with that for many years of my life and battled that every day.
Right. Right.
Because when I had to go through, I mean, years ago I went through similar situation, not
Mm.
for alcohol, but I had to go through a detox program and
Okay.
whatnot, and there was a lady that was in there with me who was in there for alcohol,
Okay.
and like it was pretty bad. She was you know, she would shake
and stuff.
and like she had to be watched
Right.
constantly, you know, and it's crazy what they could do. So Jody was starting to go through that, and
oh man, I'm sorry.
and
The way you're feeling about it, yeah.
we were here at the house.
Jesus,
So like
okay.
she's going through this at the house, and now we're trying to think. We got in touch with somebody, and you know, Jody was pretty much ready to she knew that she made a decision, which, you know, I'm super proud of her. She was but she was willing and just tired. She like most addicts say, like you know, we were just sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Right.
And you finally hit that point, and so she was at the level and at that point where she was ready to be done. But you got to get better. You know what I'm saying?
Got to recover.
And because you are detoxing from alcohol, the alcohol withdrawals, you have to be looked after. You can't do it at the house, because what if you know, what if we're both sleeping and you have a seizure while we're sleeping,
right?
And you know, you
breathe, and that's it.
And that could be, you know, yeah, that's a wrap,
right?
So our advice that was given to us and whatnot was that all right, you need to go away, you know, to a detox spot.
How long was the program?
I mean, the detox things are usually for as long as until you get better. You know, there's no set time usually for detox. Like rehabs are different. Detox spots are just made to get you better or at the point where you know you're not gonna
You're
die
gonna die or anything like that.
and
Yeah.
then you're let go.
Right.
So it was mentioned that Jody should go to these things. So we were taking that into consideration because we definitely thought, all right, you know, damn, you definitely have to go somewhere,
Right. Right.
But now COVID's going on.
Yeah, COVID's everywhere.
How
you can't go anywhere.
How are we supposed to get to, you know, like, what's the smart decision? What's the smart choice to do right now?
Do you stay at home and try to manage something that you say that can't be managed at home on your own?
Yeah, I mean, that's a hell of a gamble, and I don't know any man that would be willing to risk or gamble his wife's life.
No way.
That.
No way.
Yeah, so we, you know, we thought about what to do and whatnot, and the decision that we both made and that she had made was that, all right, you know, despite everything else that has happened, you know, still healing from the dog bite, the whole COVID being, you know, that we're right in the middle of COVID, but knowing that you got to go away to get better.
Right.
I remember, man, we had to go to the, we got to the spot, we went to the, you know, we brought her to the place, and because it was COVID, they wouldn't even let me in with her.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was a little emotional. I had to say goodbye, you know, to her, and
right. But even if they had the phone, they'd probably take it away.
Right. So like, yeah, actually, you're right. So it was, you know, not, I mean, knowing that like she was gonna be there, getting better, but be somewhere where it probably is not the safest spot to be right now. You know, like at hospitals and stuff like that, with COVID being everywhere, you know. So it was a crazy tough thing in those, but she knocked it out, man. She finished, I'm trying to remember, she finished those days. She ended up getting better.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful. So at least one good thing came out of this, though.
Yes, yeah. and that was a blessing, you know, the whole COVID thing, because and I mean, even maybe the dog bite, because without all those events happening, maybe, you know.
Yeah, maybe it was something different entirely.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, she got better, which was awesome. She got out, and still to this day, she is clean and sober from alcohol.
God bless. Yeah, God bless.
It's been almost 9 months. So I'm super proud of her.
Me too.
She's done an amazing job, and you know, she's got my full support.
There you go. And hopefully we do another 9 months, 10 months, 27, 36.
Absolutely.
And on.
Like they say, you know, one day at a time.
One day at a time.
But I know her, and you know, like I said, I'm very familiar with addiction, addicts, whatnot, and I know the type of person my wife is, and I'm not too worried. I know that she's you know, I have confidence, and I know like the type of person she is. When she says, I know she's not.
Yeah, when she says she's gonna do a thing, she's just gonna follow through.
Yeah, and I know like there's nothing to worry about too, because we've been around other people and whatnot since then that drink. I mean, we don't. She doesn't hold it against anybody, you know. Right. She's got enough willpower to be able to be around it and not want to do it, which is amazing after all the years of abusing it.
Right. And not only that, like all of the stress that comes with having to be shut in because of COVID, that could have easily driven her back to it.
Right. Yeah. There's so many. Yeah. And she's learned, she's coped. I mean, and that's the important thing too, man, that they teach you, like, when you overcome these things. You know, one thing that they say about addiction and all that, about like getting clean is the easy part.
Oh.
Staying clean is the hard part, right. You know, which is 100% true. I totally agree. But I don't want to discredit that actually getting clean and getting yourself to that point, that's hella hard too.
Yeah.
And that takes a strong individual, you know. You gotta have your mind set and just
do it and make it happen. I can also tell you, just to slip it in, that yeah, I also was a bit addicted to alcohol. I would say maybe, oh wow, it's been like 2012 or so. Like I was just hitting the bottle hard, you know what I mean?
Right.
For any reason, but got to the point where it was just like, shouldn't be doing this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Everybody reaches that certain limit or that rock bottom. Everyone's got their own thing. Like I said, everyone carries their own demons and whatnot. But
Very true.
Those who have been lucky enough and blessed to be able to overcome those and still be strong. Shout out to all of you. More power, more power to all you, everyone. It's tough.
It is very tough, but that's all right.
But
take that first step.
Absolutely. And then the cool thing is to, a reminder to be known is that, you're not alone.
Not alone.
Not alone, But yeah, like I said, so she's been doing great. Beautiful. Everything's good. There's different stories and whatnot, because it's cool because she can see and remember like how things were when she would use or drink, and then now that she doesn't. I remember in the beginning when she had gotten back, the kids were super excited to see her, obviously, when she came back. And like the first few nights or whatnot, I remember when she would cook dinner, the kids had said that like obviously they were a huge support for her and whatnot, and they were super happy that she stopped.
Right.
And
like it fills them with a sense of pride that she beat it,
that she did it, and like they could tell a difference. And one of the things that they said about that they could tell was that her cooking was better.
The cooking's better.
Yeah.
Shout outs to that.
So yeah. Which is cool. But like, I mean, little things like that, like, were important for her to hear at that time.
Right. Very important. Yeah. It's a confirmation and the reaffirmation.
Absolutely. But that was my 2020, pretty much. Like I said, a roller coaster, some crazy tough events that had happened and that we went through. But like I said, we're all still alive. We're all still standing.
Still standing and still going.
And we made it to 2021. But what about you, my man?
So
let's get in. What was the What was the hand that 2020 dealt you personally?
Damn, it dealt me the hell of a hand, man. I mean, I'll tell you right now that I lost my job because of it.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's all good. It is what it is.
Thousands of people.
Thousands of people. Yeah. But in almost all cases, of course, we got relief for it.
Mm-hmm.
But even in getting relief, you can't get a job with it, and it got to the point where the relief money, it was almost way more than if you were working an actual job. And if it wasn't way more, it was like to the equivalent of making like 15, 16, 17 an hour for just sitting down. Right. So I'm not saying that that's a good thing per se, because in my case, I've already been trying to beat my own laziness and my own impetus to do something for myself.
Right.
So it's a good and a bad thing, but it was mostly a bad thing because I wasn't ready for it.
Okay.
So as soon as the job was, we basically got fired so we can, at least get some relief on that.
Right.
But it basically turned my life upside down, because I was at the point where I wanted to continue working, and then finally make that leap from working from one job to a job that's a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
That was in my field.
Right.
But that all got taken away from me when COVID happened, because even the places that where I would have wanted to work had been shuttered or had been closed down, or they weren't accepting more hires or anything. Right. So in trying to find a much better job, it actually tossed me a little bit backwards as far as thinking, like the anxiety has increased. Oh, am I in a bad position? Do I stay? Do I wait until it gets better? When is this going away? So I could move my career. And it actually took me in a completely different direction, because I had a couple of friends that were selling on eBay. And they were saying like, oh yeah, you could actually, you could do pretty well on eBay. Why not just do that? Why not focus on that? And prior to that, I had been seeing eBay as a complete buyer's spree. It wasn't anything like selling, like, oh, selling? Oh, okay. I don't know where all this stuff comes from, but as long as I get it on time, I get it as fast as Amazon and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I started thinking about eBay, I sold like my first couple of things that actually sold to try and make money to try and supplement,
Right.
what I was already getting.
And you saw how easy it
And I
was.
saw how easy it was. I was just like, oh man, this is like freaking amazing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh crap. So I remember the first thing I actually sold, I was like happy, and I took it all the way to the post office.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as I got inside with the first package, I immediately got yelled at. Why
Why
don't you have a mask on?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm actually good friends with him now.
Mhm.
But at the time, it's like, why don't you have a mask on? This is a pandemic, man. What the hell are you doing? And I was like, oh crap. So not only did that set that in mind that I'm going to start selling things to try and make money,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to try and figure that out in a COVID world now.
Right.
Like how do I navigate and find things to sell? And that has its own stress too.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are, once you start paying attention and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you realize that there are a lot of people that are kind of funny with all of the COVID rules and all
Right.
the stuff like that. And that was its own stress, but it actually turned me into a little bit more of a businessman.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, so I guess it's actually a good story, but it still happened during COVID.
Yeah, it's unfortunate events that led to something. Maybe
like
a
it.
blessing in disguise. Which is cool.
I did have more.
What was are you able to fill us in?
Of course.
What was that first item that you sold
Oh,
on eBay?
good God. It was a video game that I had.
Okay.
At the time. I just didn't want to play it, and I ended up selling it. And
which one? Yeah.
Oh God, it was Need for Speed.
Nice. Which one?
It was on the 360. God, I can't remember.
Need for Speed.
It was definitely Need for Speed though.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it wasn't even big money. I think it was like $12 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of it was that, I have this item here that I really don't want anymore. Let me type up a description and take a picture and put it on eBay. And then it sold. And I was like, oh crap, I can start doing this. And I started doing more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went to the point of where, I started buying things. I put on my mask like in the morning, hop in the car like 6 o'clock, go down to, especially on Sundays, I go down to the local flea market, buy stuff cheap. So I had to learn how to haggle and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to, we do it like you would think that it was kind of unsafe, but it actually really wasn't, because the places that we went to, like the flea market, they are even the biggest sticklers. Like everybody has to wear a mask.
Right.
Everybody has to like deal at a distance. And some people wouldn't even accept you unless you had like gloves on and whatnot.
Outdoors too.
Outdoors
is a good thing. Yeah.
Right. So, but to pull that back, man, to even just put that all to the side, I actually lost a good friend as well to COVID.
Mm.
Yeah. And that was back in, oh God, it was in May. 27-year-old too.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't really care to get too much into it, but I mean, it is what it is. It did happen.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, my former boss too,
Mm-hmm.
him and his partner also had got COVID, and partner almost died from it. So it was very real. It was very serious.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All of this that was happening.
Absolutely. COVID has taken, many different lives. I mean,
really
many lives.
It really has.
I know for me too. I mean, personally, thankfully, so far, I have not had any immediate family or somebody that I would say super close who passed from it. Now, this past year, I have known plenty of people who have had it. You know, and I do know. I'm not super close, but I do know somebody who I work with, who lost their ex-husband or their ex-significant other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's real. People
have
lost people. Unfortunately, I just a few days ago I was talking to my mother, and I had gotten word that so my mom's cousin, her mother. Okay, she's 95 now.
95.
Yeah, bless her heart. She's been in a nursing home, but she hasn't been in contact, obviously, with anybody. But I guess a few days ago, they got word that she has tested positive for COVID.
So it had to have been somebody that didn't have symptoms.
No, I mean, well, inside that nursing home, the one that she's in, I don't want to mention too many things about it, but the particular nursing home that she's in, from what I've heard, the situation was handled poorly because other people are positive there
as well,
and so are faculty members and whatnot. So,
and so they just didn't shut it down. This was all continuing.
I don't know,
to go
man.
on?
Like, it's a frustrating topic because the nursing home, I feel like nursing homes and prisons have handled this whole COVID situation so poorly, as if
it almost makes them less human in a way. You would think that they would be like the top of the line service to, make sure nobody catches this.
Right. People have just, I don't know. Sometimes the way that they've handled these things has just been not the best,
No, it's not.
But like I said, yeah, for you, bro, I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it is what it is. I'm happy my one friend is still alive, but that loss, it was rough. He's only 24. You know what I mean? You would think it would hit somebody that's a little bit older, but it can do that. It does that.
Young.
Yeah,
super young.
It's all good though. But I mean, aside from that, like the only other thing that it's kind of ruined is that it's really just made like the stress and anxiety of like being at home. Because I'm typically an outgoing person. I love going out.
Right.
But having to become that type of person that stays home and, also trying to go out and trying to make money somehow. You know what I mean? With that constant fear, it was pretty rough. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. COVID was, unfortunately, it's still here.
It's still here.
So we're still battling it. We're still going through and still learning.
Right.
But, yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. What a year for both of us. It sounds like
gone.
Yeah, it sounds like sounds like I said, we both have had interesting things happen this past year. Right. But like I said, I guess we're definitely blessed to still be here.
Yes, we are, and we're stronger for it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hopefully, we've all been able to learn something too, or at least take something out of 2020 that we can apply to 2021.
Yeah.
To hopefully make better.
You think there's anything that's in particular that could be done to make 2021 better?
I don't know, man. I mean, like we always say, or like we like to say, the more people spread love, the better the world will be.
Yes, sir. A little less stress.
I mean, absolutely. If you spread love, you're not going to get busted in the mouth by a twisted tea can.
That tea slap. It's one of the only greats of the 2020.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
So, all right, my man. That was a good little recap of 2020.
It really was. It really was.
To our listeners too. I hope that you guys enjoy being able to hear a little about our lives and how how 2020 affected us.
Right.
So before we wrap it up, we want to give a special thank you to our editor Deirdre.
Yes, thank you, Deirdre. We really appreciate it.
Yes, always. Thanks for making us sound good all year round. We also want to thank our day oneers.
Yeah, shout outs to the day oneers.
Yeah, man. Those of you who have supported and followed us from the beginning, thank you.
Thank you.
We see you and we love you for sure.
Yes, we do.
You want to hit them with your social?
Oh, yeah. So, also with that said, starting a YouTube too. So YouTube, its name is Show, SHO. If you look me up, I'll be the avatar would be a Kermit that has like a Darth Vader hoodie on. So you'll know that's me. And then I have my Twitter handle, that's Retro Show, and same avatar actually. But you can find me there. And then for the Instagram, it is Tunde 2017. That's TUNDE 2017.
Nice. Yeah. So that YouTube thing is new. So
the YouTube thing's new.
Definitely, listeners, follow Tim on that. Get on that. Yeah. Watch some old school retro games.
Yes, sir. And then I'm going to start getting scripts together as well. So it's actually going to be a little bit more of like a historical type of thing too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So everybody look that up, follow him, subscribe to that. You guys could find me on Instagram under Josh_Toth3.
Okay.
And my Facebook is Joshua Toth. Lastly, we want to please remember, to follow us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and Anchor.
Please pick one.
Yes, pick one, pick them all.
Pick them all. But stay with Apple.
But please continue to subscribe, follow, share, listen, comment, rate us with a 5-star.
Please bless it one time.
It really helps with the ratings and the subscriptions.
It really does.
We really appreciate those. All right, my man.
All right.
Jumping into a new year.
Yes, sir. Let's start it.
Let's hope for the best.
We got this.
My man. All right, so I guess I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
All right, bro. All right, peace.
Peace out.